Origins and early life. Born into poverty in Georgia in 1878, Joseph Stalin's formative years were marked by hardship and abuse. His father was a heavy drinker who frequently beat his family, while his mother worked hard as a seamstress to support them. This environment shaped Stalin's worldview and instilled in him a deep sense of resentment towards the ruling class. Stalin excelled in school and was known for his strong-willed nature. Despite facing discrimination as a minority in the Russian Empire, he displayed a talent for organizing and leading his peers. At a young age, he became involved in revolutionary politics, joining the Bolsheviks and dedicating himself to the cause of overthrowing the oppressive Tsarist regime. Through his experiences of poverty and injustice, Stalin developed a fierce determination to fight for the rights of the working class. His formative years would sow the seeds of the ruthless leader he would become, as he navigated the turbulent waters of early 20th century Russia and ultimately rose to power as the Soviet Union's iron-fisted leader. Revolutionary activities. Stalin's involvement with the Bolsheviks began in the early 1900s when he joined their revolutionary movement. During this time, he engaged in various criminal activities to fund the party, including bank robberies and extortion. These illegal actions helped finance the Bolshevik cause and furthered the revolutionary agenda. Stalin's commitment to the party and willingness to resort to criminal means to support it demonstrated his dedication to the cause of bringing about a socialist revolution in Russia. Consolidation of power. In his quest to secure power in the Soviet Union, Joseph Stalin implemented a series of cunning tactics to defeat his opposition, notably Trotsky, Zinoviev, and Kamenev. Stalin skillfully outmaneuvered Trotsky, a revolutionary figure with widespread support, by leveraging his control over key party positions and manipulating the bureaucracy to isolate and eventually exile Trotsky from the country. Zinoviev and Kamenev, former close allies of Stalin, also posed a threat to his authority. Stalin adept exploited their wavering loyalty and manipulated party dynamics to sideline them, ultimately leading to their expulsion from the Communist Party. Through a combination of strategic alliances, purges, and propaganda, Stalin solidified his grip on power and emerged as the unchallenged leader of the Soviet Union. His ruthless tactics in defeating his opponents earned him the reputation as a formidable and uncompromising ruler, laying the foundation for his brutal and authoritarian regime. The Great Purge. Stalin's reign was marked by his ruthless purge of perceived enemies within the Communist Party, military, and intelligentsia. The Great Purge, as it came to be known, saw thousands of individuals arrested, tortured, and executed under false charges of conspiracy against the state. This widespread campaign of terror solidified Stalin's grip on power and instilled fear in anyone who dared to dissent. The purges decimated the ranks of the party, military leadership, and intellectual elite, leaving Stalin as the uncontested ruler of the Soviet Union. The legacy of the Great Purge continues to haunt Russia to this day, as the atrocities committed under Stalin's regime are remembered as some of the darkest chapters in Soviet history. World War II leadership. Stalin's iron-fisted leadership during World War II was marked by strategic decision-making and ruthless tactics. As the Soviet Union faced the devastating impact of the war, Stalin effectively steered the Soviet war machine, mobilizing resources, troops, and industry to combat the Axis powers. Despite the tremendous losses suffered by the USSR, Stalin's leadership played a critical role in ultimately securing victory in the war. His brutal methods may have been controversial, but there is no denying the impact of his leadership on the outcome of World War II. Final years and legacy. In 1953, Joseph Stalin passed away, marking the end of an era in Soviet history. His death had a significant impact on global politics and the Soviet society he had ruled with an iron fist for nearly 3 decades. Stalin's legacy continued to shape the Soviet Union, with his policies and purges leaving a lasting imprint on the country. His death ushered in a period of uncertainty and power struggle within the Soviet leadership, as his successors sought to consolidate their own power and maintain control over the vast empire he had built. Internationally, Stalin's death led to a thaw in tensions between the Soviet Union and the Western powers, as his successors sought to ease hostilities and improve relations. However, the legacy of Stalin's iron-fisted rule continued to cast a shadow over Soviet society, as the people grappled with the legacy of repression and fear that had defined Stalin's rule. Despite his death, Stalin's influence on global politics and Soviet society endured long after his passing, cementing his place as one of the most controversial and influential figures of the 20th century.